Look at you being all awake and stuff. You're reading words, and you probably aren't even stabbing anybody right now. You deserve a coffee, you little ray of sunshine.
I'm Judy. I have cafe. Come for breakfast.
Hey folks, Mike Barron here. Every time we do a crowdfunder, we place it on Fund My Comic. Because Luke Stone is a great guy, he's a stand-up guy, and most importantly, Fund My Comic is very comic creator friendly. They won't kick you off if some purple-haired freak writes in and tells them to kick you off. His fees are also very low. I recommend Fund My Comic for any comic or graphic novel projects you intend to do.
In the middle of the night or early Friday morning, depending upon where you are in the world, a group of experienced comics professionals get together to examine and instruct about the art form that they love. That's great comic artwork on Comics by Night, Fridays at 5 a.m. Eastern, here on the Indie Comics Network, indiecomicsnetwork.com.
What was that? This is not a charade.
Oh, it's a good day in the Sizzling Pan.
What a crowd.
It's weird.
What a
Why'd
crowd.
have us like that, I wonder. What a crowd. What a crowd. Yeah, what a great day. What a great day. It's been warm out lately.
Yeah.
Sun has been shining. Sun has been shining.
Spring is here.
Spring has sprung.
Actually did a
Spring
little
has
bit of
sprung.
lawn
I saw
work.
that.
Did a little bit of lawn
Yeah.
work yesterday.
Cool. That's fun.
Raking the leaves, raking the leaves.
Raking,
Anyway.
raking the leaves, raking the, yeah, that could be a metal song, actually, for dads.
Yep.
That is
There you
the dad version of a metal song. I think it's
Tuning the
What a story, Mark.
Yep.
Raking the leaves. Raking the leaves. Yeah, it's going to be a good day. We've got a lot of news to cover today. Man, the plot thickens. the drama compiles. It's crazy. Randy, it's crazy.
It's all the
last week,
additional crap or flour that you throw into the mix. It thickens it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last week wasn't here because I had to go to get the old ticker checked. We're doing pretty good.
Ticker check.
Yep. Next month I'll have another Thursday where I have a doctor's appointment. Falls right at the nerd bacon time. You know, it happens sometimes. You know, every year you got to go do all these checkups. You know, it's like taking your car in. You know, they got to go change the oil and, you know, rotate the tires and all that good stuff. So I got another one
It's
in a few weeks. Yeah.
My doctor, I told my doctor I was so sick of doctors. She said, well, just come back when you're sick.
just come back when you're sick.
That's what she said.
Well, that's always nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. I got tired of being prodded, poked and prodded.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, exactly.
My doctor's never said she kind of does sometimes say just come back when you're sick. So I got something I want to show you. Got a few things I'd like to before we get started on the news today.
Excuse me while I whip this out. Yeah.
Excuse me. So we've got a couple of obviously we had a couple of empty seats, and so if you're in one of my chats, feel free to grab one of those links, come on in and have a little chat with us today.
I was hoping maybe Glenn would join us this morning. Just asking if there was any bacon sizzling this morning.
The bizzle sizzle. All right, you got to check this out. So marketing is always an issue for indie comics, I think.
Always.
Not just indie comics. I think anybody that is trying to independently create something.
Yep.
Whether it be, you know, a comic book, CD, some new invention, or even, let's say, a dietary supplement. Check this out.
I was overweight and looked terrible, but AIDS helped me lose 46 pounds. The AIDS diet plan helped me lose 28 pounds.
AIDS helps control your appetite so you lose weight, yet AIDS lets you taste, chew, and enjoy. And the appetite suppressant in AIDS is not a stimulant.
AIDS helped me to lose 18 pounds, and it doesn't contain anything to make me nervous.
Question, why take diet pills when you can enjoy AIDS? AIDS helps you lose weight without making you jittery.
Watching CNN last week, you examined the deadly flaws of this aircraft. You joined 4 newsmen in remembrance of Frank Reynolds. You debated the censure of 2 congressmen. This week, get the facts about AIDS. A CNN special report.
There we are.
Oh.
Not quite the appetite suppressant they were talking about, though. But anyway.
Yeah. You gotta have I guess a little bit of foresight on that one. You know,
it was out for a few years. Just bad timing.
Yeah, bad timing. And you know, to be fair, they didn't really have Google. They could be like, is there anything else called AIDS? You couldn't look up AIDS, you know.
Well, the candy come out long before the disease sprung up. So it's just bad coincidence that it threw them.
Speaking of sprung up, I'm enjoying mushroom coffee today. Have you heard about this?
That just makes you a fun guy.
It does make me a fun guy. So I'm doing 1 cup of mushroom coffee in the morning, and then I'm switching
while I get my bell. There we are.
Ding.
Anyway,
so yeah, I've switched. I've started doing that. I'm feeling like I'm getting some health benefits from it. I mean, it hasn't been long. It's only been a week. But
definitely improves your run timing to the restroom. Is that what it is?
Yeah. Let's call it gut health.
Sharpens your pace.
Let's call it gut health. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no ignoring that now. So yeah,
takes a while to adjust.
You know, it says, well, it helps you lose weight. Well, of course it does, because it flushes everything out of you. Yeah, but no, it's nice. I don't have the early crash that coffee gives me. That's my first cup of the day. Yeah, so it works out pretty good. Speaking of running to the bathroom.
How dare you?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Oh, you silly, simple bastard.
It has an old man show now. And we're talking about movements.
What's that?
Similarities.
Yeah, that's what we're talking. We've devolved into full old man territory.
Yep, awesome. Never question the hecklefish.
Well, I don't really like Advil. I'm a Tylenol man myself.
Yeah, exactly. Man.
We're going to start comparing.
My dad took Tylenol.
We're going to start comparing scars next.
Yeah.
And illnesses.
So yeah, that was very unfortunate marketing for that particular product.
Yes.
Hopefully they found a way to change the name. So a few weeks ago,
I think they rebranded as X-Lax. I'm pretty sure. Anyway,
yeah, I remember X-Lax.
Yeah, several weeks ago, I shared some videos from an 80s video VHS.
Looking for someone.
We have some more today I want to share. Now it's time for the ladies to talk.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth, and I live in the West End Valley. Pardon me.
Pedro's kind
Hi.
of lady there.
I'm Janet. I'm looking for... I'm not sure. Hello.
She's got that chocolate
My
cake.
name is Ellen.
That's what men want, though, is a woman with a lot of cake.
Sexy. Yeah. Others say I'm sensuous.
Hi,
I'm Linda. Well, you know, when I'm not using my doctor and pharmacy to troubleshoot a large healthcare computer system, I'm over at the gym pumping iron. Or driving my black Porsche with the wind blowing through my hair and singing along with Anita Baker's Rapture of Love.
I guess you could say I'm an Oreo cookie freak. I have an Oreo cookie jar, Oreo salt and pepper shakers. I like to collect anything with an Oreo on it. And I love to eat double stuffed ones. They're the best.
There we are.
Bette Midler. I laugh hysterically at Bette Midler.
We all do.
I have 2 cats.
And I don't know how to ride a horse. And my goal in life is to have my own religion.
I was a flop at canoeing.
I'm looking for a romanticist.
What are you looking for?
Spend time at the fireplace.
Someone that's clean. Be clean, you know? I keep my car very clean, and I expect a man to do the same. And I also like very needy men. One who is charming, personable, doesn't smoke in my face.
I am looking for a passionate yet permanent romance within the guidelines of safe dating practices.
Cleaning gloves.
Well, I gotta go now, but keep in touch, okay? Bye. That's it.
Robin?
You know, Robin had a successful life.
On a related note, I went to a funeral on Monday.
Okay. Sorry to hear that.
No, it's not. It wasn't sad. It's just that, how do you do this in this economy? It was an open casket, and the guy had 4 families that didn't know each other.
Huh?
Oh, okay.
And they all found out at the funeral.
At the funeral?
Yeah.
Whoa.
And I mean, hats off to the stallion. But
did he look good?
Well, he looked like an old man. Like, I don't know, like if you're into
That's
like,
good. You know,
if you're into old men.
Yeah, he was not like Laurence Olivier looking. Like he was just like an old folks, you know. But the guy
did he have a smile on his face?
Yeah, he did. In the casket and in the picture. Yeah,
that's everything.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, dude, it's just like, how do you do that in this economy? Like, that's what I don't get. Unless you have all the women working for you.
So all of a sudden, she's multiple women in the crowd started crying, "My poor husband." They were all wearing black, and all the families were behind them.
They found out because of the kids.
Oh, the kids started talking to one another.
They all look alike.
Oh, that too.
Everybody was like, "Oh."
Were there a lot of kids?
They were like 12.
Oh my gosh.
It's about what,
Catholic?
three apiece?
Yeah, Catholic.
That's only about 3 apiece, though.
Yeah,
Still, that's normal.
Solid
But
contained family.
Yeah, but they were all like educated. They didn't look like they all had shoes and stuff. You know?
I take it he had a job that required him to travel a lot.
Probably. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He worked. No, he didn't work in the Navy, but he sold like big boat parts. Like,
there you go.
What he did.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So probably that's why. Right. But damn, like I feel like a failure. Like I felt like a failure after a while. Like, wow, I haven't done that.
I'm just not ambitious enough, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Like, whew.
I lack ambitious.
I lack drive.
Speaking of ambitious,
I have a wife who idolizes Lorena Bobbitt. There's no way I'm going to be that dumb.
Yeah.
You know, us Latinas, we just cut it off. Anyway.
Wise guys, that's what everybody was asking. How do you juggle 4 families? I don't know how he did it, but he did. He died of natural causes in his bed. It wasn't like a scandal.
How old was he?
Oh, he was like 82.
Had to have had a pretty healthy heart.
Pretty long life. Yeah. Imagine how long he
old were the kids?
He only had the one family.
Oh, the kids were all adults, professional, well-educated, groomed. They had shoes. They had their own families.
And they're like, hey,
excellent.
Dad.
Yeah, I was like, hey,
guess what? Bonus siblings.
Bonus family.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
bonus families, yeah.
He juggled all 4 of them at the same time, or he just never told them about them as he advanced through life?
Nobody knew anything.
Nobody knew anything.
Anything. Like, I don't know. This guy was CIA. I don't know what he was doing, but nobody knew ish.
Discretion is the better part of
so whatever he was doing, maybe that wasn't even what he was doing.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Before we get to the next video, very ambitious video.
You know, he might have only needed to sell 1 or 2 large boat parts a week in order to more than supply all 4 families.
Yeah. I'm still trying to figure it out myself. It's Thursday, and I'm still thinking about that guy.
And moved a lot of parts.
He's going to be thinking about that guy for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, dude. Like
so's everybody else now, including his kids.
Before we move on to the next video, very ambitious video. Let's go and welcome our chat this morning. We've got Bunny, the Rabbit Holes in the house. Welcome. We've got Marv V. Marv V's good to see you again.
Thank you.
We got Glenn Fleming in the house. Welcome,
hey, Glenn.
There's Russ Leach, the comic book black belt. Good to have you here today. We've got Will over there at Creators Outlet. Good morning, nerds. Good to have you here today. Luke has gone full hippie. Yeah, with that mushroom. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I have. Wise Guys is in the house. Welcome. It's good to have you here today.
Coffee here.
We got the headless bourgeoisie in the house. And then, there's more people watching than are commenting. Feel free to pop out your phone and give us a hello. Let us know that you're here. You know, I like to point out when people are cringy and stupid. But that also includes, I have to also include people in my own tribe.
Okay.
The renewed mind is the key to the power that we need. The world is gonna
So this has been floating around for a while, but I'm not sure you guys have seen this.
The renewed mind is the key
This is very
to
ethnic.
the power that we need. It's the only way to
Not
be
their ethnic.
strong and thick.
Yeah, exactly. It's borrowed.
Definitely borrowed.
You know, maybe urban would be.
Yeah. That dude $2,000. It's like yeah.
We can stand upon the greatness of his word.
He feels real good about what he's doing today.
Gonna make it hurt.
Oh, there you go. All right, so
Well, it's good to know
we're
their
gonna fast
relation.
forward
Their
this a little
religion has something against dancing. That's for sure.
not this one. All right, we got to fast forward a little bit.
Please
We
do.
can claim the rights that God gave you and me.
choreography that went out with the late 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is obviously not the 60s.
Start singing Betcha by Golly Wow.
Now we put that truth within our hearts and walk with all God's might.
Here you go.
Oh, look at Michael Jackson over here. Yeah! Oh my God, no. You should go to the Olympics for the breakdance event. Yeah.
He could win, I think. I think, especially if he lives in Australia.
The moonwalking.
Okay, so
the revolution will be televised.
The video is not the best part.
Yeah, the things like this
the
remind
best
me
part.
yeah,
this bad attempt at moonwalking. Oh, okay.
The best part are the comments.
Set to pirate music.
Well, this reminds me of a philosopher of our time, Don Imus. You guys remember that guy?
I remember Don Imus very well.
These ones are not nappy.
Yeah.
Oh,
jeez. That was anyway. They'd be a lot better dancers, probably.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So let's check out some of these comments. My man has that y'all wish it was me smirk.
Y'all mean.
This video is like an answer to a question that's never been asked.
Yeah.
Very true.
My guy was thinking, I'm going to get so much hand holding after this. Is going to be insane.
Oh, yeah.
This is probably my favorite one. You know, Matthew Knowles is dying to manage these believers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I have 2 microphones, dude. Don't worry. I brought my own. Pulls out NSYNC brand dance ready headset.
Yeah.
Nobody gives credit to the man on the keys. He's on fire.
Actually, yeah, like he was giving it up a decent beat. Just everything else sucked. Yeah.
See, this is what happens when you show up to choir rehearsal on time every week.
Mm-hmm.
This is the level of quality performance that
exactly.
you can achieve.
Say what you will, but their sync is on point.
It's on point.
On point.
See, the topic of this show today is drive. Have drive, and you can achieve anything. Have 4 families.
Have 4 families.
Yeah, or achieve a
break dance in church. My man had no business killing the stage like that. And he started crip walking in the name of Christ.
Yep.
That pop lock moonwalk and heel toe was for all the haters.
Life.
He couldn't wait till the solo dance break. Yeah, you could tell he was ready. He was like, "Ooh, I got this." Yeah, it's good stuff. That was good stuff.
I mean, he was having fun though. We can't deny that.
Yeah.
He looked extremely
where are they
happy.
now? Video.
They all looked happy.
He did look super happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were having a good time, man.
It's the.
I don't think I've ever been that happy in my life.
Yeah, just don't drink enough holy water.
Yeah.
Them ladies are trying real hard to keep up, but everyone knows who the real talent is.
There you are. Yep.
This is actually my jam.
Oh yeah.
And our chat headless says, "Move over, Abba. There's a new game in town."
Yeah, move over.
I mean, they're more legit
has
than
a lot to
Billy.
answer for. Right.
There you go.
The girls only have the microphones because he had to do the dance break. Yeah.
Had to have his hands free. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had to have his hands free. Oh goodness. I like this one. This remains one of the best videos on the whole internet. Yeah. It's almost as good as Sunseed.
Still doesn't match Taste the Biscuit.
Taste the Biscuit's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's almost as good as Sunseed, though.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with Sunseed
I mean,
or not.
the thing with Taste the Biscuit is that they are self-aware that it's a joke.
Yeah.
So it's not as impactful as what we just saw, which I think should be part of the roster. Not replace Change the Biscuit, but be part of the roster of videos we show.
They should be dancing in the background as she sings Taste the Biscuit. Yeah.
All right, so I got another one for you. Give me just a second to pull it up.
Yeah.
I got another one. So I wasn't going to show this one, but given the fact that that you guys enjoyed that one so much, there's one that dates back a little later. So obviously, you know, we're talking about the early aughts on that one. The one I'm getting ready to show you is
disco era,
probably more 70s, 80s.
Okay.
So it's more in Randy's childhood.
Wheelhouse? Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
Hey, my
more
childhood was
Randy's
you're just guessing there.
I'm just
my childhood was in the 70s, man.
Your childhood was in the 70s too, wasn't it? Well, here you go. No.
There you go.
No.
Okay.
No.
More of that.
There you go.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
This dude on the guitar, man. You got to keep your eye on him.
Who knew Lawrence Welk could rock?
Jesus is a friend of mine. Jesus is my friend. Jesus is a friend of mine. He taught me how to live my life as it should be. He taught me how to turn my cheek when
These guys are definitely Mormons.
I've had friends before, and I can tell you that.
Yeah, Mormon, Seventh-day
He's one who will
Adventists.
never leave you
They're
flat.
something like that. They're definitely.
Jesus is a friend of mine.
These are not Baptists.
Jesus is a friend of mine. I have a friend in Jesus. Jesus is a friend of mine. Jesus is my friend. Jesus is a friend
Tony Osmond on bass. Yep.
He taught me how to pray.
Jesus is a friend of mine.
He taught me how to praise my God and still play rock and roll. The music
Russ is
may
having
sound
a
different,
stroke.
but the message is the same. It's just an instrument to praise His name.
Wait for the guitarist.
Jesus is a friend of
Look,
mine.
this guy's.
Jesus is my friend.
He feels like he's in a rock.
Oh my God.
She looks intense.
Jesus is a friend of mine. Jesus is a friend of mine.
Oh no. The cafeteria lady.
Dad
Oh,
just
Steinberger?
isn't standing there. Dad's just standing there.
Steinberger bass? Wow, that's. No, this
Little
is early
bass solo.
80s, man.
Hip bass.
This is early 80s. Those bass.
Wait for it.
Oh, P90.
Jesus is a friend of mine.
Oh, he's rocking.
Jesus is a friend of mine.
Yeah. He's got a little hip action going.
Ojo says that looks like Justin Trudeau.
It might be.
You know what's funny about this? This is gonna be another like racially charged comment.
And you know they're
This is supposed to
Canadian.
be ska, but it sounds like polka.
Yeah.
You
They're
know, it's
definitely Canadian.
two in the one. Like you just be a little bit held back, and you will get like that scat that will make you jump.
I have another video, but I don't think I can show it.
He loves me when I waste my time by
You're
writing
probably
some
already
songs.
music struck just off of this hit.
Yeah.
Love me when I'm
Probably
perfect.
good.
Oh, this is gonna be my new ringtone.
Jesus is a friend of mine. Jesus is my friend. Jesus is a friend. I have a friend in Jesus. Jesus is a friend of mine. Jesus is my friend. Jesus is a friend of mine. I have a friend in Jesus. Jesus is a friend of mine. Jesus. Jesus is a friend of mine.
That's terrific, Sal. Thank you very much.
That's terrific.
That's terrific,
Now shut up.
Sal.
Yeah.
That's
We
terrific.
really
That's
appreciate it.
terrific. Now
That's,
shut up.
that's
Yeah,
terrific. Get out of here, guys. Get out
of here.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Ojo says ska is lame.
No doubt.
God.
No doubt. But to play it properly, you need to be hit it in on the two. As lame as it is. This was
Right,
polka.
right. Okay. Somebody wanted to hear the gangster rap.
Yeah.
All right. So we give our chat what they want.
Yeah.
Remember, you asked for it.
Remember, remember, you asked for this.
Mm-hmm. Hard.
Horde.
The song is called "Rapping for Jesus."
Obviously.
There you go.
Yeah.
Come for the comic books,
I'm
stay
just
for the
gonna-
bad gospel music.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, I'm just gonna do it, guys. Just gonna do it.
Yeah, dude.
Marv is begging. No way, he says.
No, please. No, please, God, no. Oh, nice. The bars.
Meanwhile,
Church of Christ.
At the Church of Christ.
Youth outreach program.
Rapping for Jesus.
Oh no.
Well, I wrote this song for the Christian youth. I want to teach kids the Christian truth. If you want to reach those kids on the street, then you got to do a rap to a hip-hop beat. So I gave my sermon an urban kick. My rhymes are fly, my beats are sick. My crew is big and it keeps getting bigger. That's because Jesus Christ is my nigga.
No! The Fresh Prince of Salt Lake. All right.
The Fresh Prince of Salt Lake.
He's a life changer, miracle arranger. Born to the virgin mom in a manger. Water to wine, he's a drink exchanger.
I don't think that quite meets the definition he's expecting.
I preach the word, that's my gig. And I rhyme better than Notorious Big. All the other MCs, I wish them well. But if you live in sin, you burn in hell.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh.
Now I'ma pass the mic to my lovely wife. She's a fly MC and the light of my life. So to bust a rhyme without further ado, take it away, Mary Sue.
Jesus Christ is my nigga. He's the son of the original G. And he was sent to earth to elucidate the way that we should be. What? Like if another MC says you're a freak, you're a lame butt rapper and your rhymes are weak. I don't get mad and I don't critique. I forgive him and turn the other cheek. I don't blaspheme and I don't brag. I don't cuss. And my pants don't sag. I do exude a little Christian swag, and I'm proud to be an American.
Jesus Christ is a nigga. Let his light shine through ya. Let his love pop a cap in your butt and say hallelujah. Jesus Christ is a nigga. He's a honey MCJC, you see. He's an honest, caring, peace-loving nigga like me. If you do drugs and you think you're cool, you need to come to Sunday school. Put those drugs in a garbage can. Stand up tall, you're a Christian man. Word up. I'm freestyling.
Hit me.
I'm freestyling.
Hit her.
Hit me. Please, someone hit her. You asked for it. You asked for it.
Oh, shit. Sorry. I'm not supposed to curse.
Oh, my goodness.
Marby says, I'm glad I asked for this.
Yeah, you did, Marby. I hope you're satisfied.
You asked and I delivered.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Please don't judge all of us by these people, okay?
No, you know, I would love to hang out with the Fresh Prince of Salt Lake. Like, I would have no problem. Just like, he just seems a little bit naive, but I mean, I saw no like bad intention behind his words. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't know that.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that. He doesn't get it. He's
no even like the N word means nothing to me. Yeah, like the N word means nothing to me.
Yeah.
But just trying to like he's attempt to reach out like that without
those three old people are trying real hard.
Yeah.
They're trying real hard.
For the kids with a sick fly beat.
Yeah, exactly. Just like, And when the lady turned that pancake cheek to the camera,
right?
That just killed me. Like, okay,
is that Ruth Payne? I think a little bit of pee came out.
That was some fun stuff, man.
Gets me. Please don't judge us all by those three. I swear there are some really, really great Christian bands out there.
Yeah, and that's why artists are needed. You know,
yes.
When you leave art to people who are not artists, this is what happens.
Now, I think it's also pretty obvious that you're not going to get this kind of quality work if you rely on AI.
Yeah.
Right. AI would never do that. They could never do that.
Mm-mm.
Doesn't have the sensibilities and capabilities.
Nope.
To have a dance break like that, to have that killer bass solo on the headless bass.
Yeah, the Steinberger. Yeah.
Steinberger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Steinberger.
Steinberger.
It's kind of like, is it Berenstain Bears or Berenstein Bears?
Bernstein. Yeah, exactly. I was always
Bernstein.
confused with that.
What is it? I think I
Yeah.
know what it is. But guys, time for some breaking news. Two people in the comic book industry have fallen.
Oh, thank God, comics.
Yeah, we're back to comics.
Oh, awesome.
Back to comics, yeah. At least she didn't twerk.
Whenever we veer away from comics, it's dangerous. Have you noticed that?
I know, yeah, it is. AI is too self-aware to create that. Probably.
Exactly my point. Yes.
Probably too self-aware.
Yeah, I cannot use those words. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Rest in peace, Rob Stoll. Rob Stoll, an artist, teacher, and curator of exhibits highlighting the work of Black comic artists, died on April 17th, 2025, at the age of 58, a youngster there.
Oh,
Best
dude,
known to comic book fans as an inker whose work included Spider-Man, X-Force, JLA, and Vampirilla.
Dude, there's
He
something
was
in the
also
diet.
the first. What?
There's something in the diet of my people. Like we drop at 50 something all the time.
It's not good. It's not good.
I don't know if it's too much salt. Maybe we eat too much of that pork. I don't know what we're doing, but we gotta stop.
So he was also the first Black artist in residence at Boston's Museum of Fine Arts, and the creator of the traveling exhibit Sequential Art: The Next Step, which debuted at Ohio State University in 1995. Like many artists, he started young. I have a vivid memory of having a pack of jumbo crayons when I was maybe 3 or 4, he said in 2018 interview with the Boston Globe. I went straight to the bathroom, all those white walls, and completely covered the surface with drawings.
Don't make it
My
racial,
parents were
right?
so angry, but I remember my father said, wait a minute, maybe there's something to this.
Nice.
Stoll was born Robert B. Stoll on February 2nd, 1967, and grew up in Boston at the neighboring town of Brookline. His father, Donald L. Stoll, was the founder of the Boston architecture firm Stoll and Lee, and his mother, Patricia A. Ryder Stoll, was a dancer. Two of his uncles were also artists, one a ceramicist and the other a drawing professor at Rhode Island School of Design.
Oh,
His family encouraged him, very talented family, to pursue his art, as did his teachers at Brookline High School. Art was all around me growing up, he told the Globe, and of course, I read a ton of comic books.
Yeah.
Hip-hop was also a big influence. I'm a byproduct of the first generation of hip-hop, he said in the interview with his alma mater, the School of the Museum of Fine Arts. My oldest sister was living in Queens when I was a kid. I would take the 7 train out to visit her, and I would see all of this rooftop graffiti and take pictures with my Kodak Instamatic camera.
Instamatic, I remember those.
It was like a traveling art gallery to me. All of that stuff, from graffiti to dance and music, I got introduced to in pieces before it was packaged up and called something. That's why it's so powerful to me, because it was the definition of youth culture and youth expression. Kids created all of it. After graduating from high school of the Museum of Fine Arts, Stoll moved to New York to become an artist. He and 2 friends founded Armada Design Group, which created comic-style artwork for other media, including Virgin Records, Vader Magazine, and for Time Warner. The original campaign for the movie The Matrix, his first work for a comic publisher, according to the Grand Comic Database, was the story, What If the Gamma Bomb Spawned 1,000 Hulks? In What If number 71. Published in 1995, Stoll and Jack Snyder inked Larry Stroman's pencils. He went on to ink interiors and covers for Spider-Man Adventures, Wolverine, Talos, Iron Man, New Mutants, Firestorm, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man 52, and Justice League of America, among others, staying active in the industry until the early 2010s. My main objective was always to try to capture my subject matter with a significant degree of realism, he told the Globe. But after years of working in comics, advertising, and graphic design, my personal style became more minimalistic and cartoony, more deadline friendly. Back in the day,
I love that.
It's definitely deadline friendly. Back in the day, I'd be trying to make each page as pretty as possible, and it was taking 1 to 3 days to do one page. An old battle-tested veteran told me, if you can't get it done in a 9 to 5, don't do it. I thought, he's getting 5 of those pages done a day. I really am a slowpoke, so whatever I do now, I have to get it done in a timely manner. When he started working in comics, Stoll realized that many of the artists whose work he had been following for years were Black. He created the sequential art exhibit, he said in the SMFA interview, to highlight these creators' work and inspire youngsters who did not have as rich an artistic upbringing as he did. Its mission was to bring attention to our contributions as Black artists, this amazing landscape of comic books, he said, but also to empower people of all ages and ethnic backgrounds, to show them what he can not only work on mainstream franchises, but that we can also develop our own franchises and tell our own stories. The show opened in 1995 as part of the Festival of Cartoon Art at Ohio State University, then moved on to several other venues, including the National Center of Afro-American Artists in Boston. In 2019, the Boston Museum of Fine Arts invited him to be their artist in residence and commissioned him to create a set of drawings in response to their exhibit, Right in the Future, Basquiat and the Hip Hop Generation. The drawings were displayed at 25-foot high banners on the museum's facade, the first time a Boston artist's work had been featured there. He also collaborated with fellow artist Rob Pro-Black Gibbs on the mural project, which included both artwork and a guide to local murals. That same year, he was one of the local artists who participated in the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum's Neighborhood Luminaries program. He also taught at the Elliott School of Fine and Applied Arts. In addition to his comic book work, Stoll was an animator and illustrator. His work appeared in the Black Comics Anthology and the History of America Graffiti. The Boston Comics in Color Festival, which was held on April 26th, had a tribute and a moment of silence for Stoll and announced that it would establish the Rob Stoll Grant in collaboration with the Bay State Banner to encourage young comic creators. He accomplished a lot. And as I'm getting to the end of this article about Rob, I realize him shining a light on the contributions of Black artists, and we just played that song before we.
Dude, it was perfect.
That was not planned. It
was perfect. And the thing is, like, you know what? An artist of that caliber wouldn't take offense.
No, he's fantastic.
You know what I mean? Because
he's fantastic.
It's not getting defined by color, man. Like, this has been the message ever since, I don't know, like, I think that some guy said that, Martin Luther King maybe said in the 60s, be judged by the content of your character.
We lost another artist this week. Rest in peace, Jack Katz.
Yeah.
Longtime comic artist, creator of early graphic novels, The First Kingdom.
The First Kingdom.
First Kingdom, Jack Katz. Jack Katz, creator of the early graphic novel The First Kingdom, died on April 25th of this year at the age of 97.
He had a long run.
He had a long run.
You want me to read this?
Buddy. Yeah, please do.
During much of his career, Katz was a journeyman artist, working under his own name and the pen names Vaughn Beering, David Hadley, and Jay Hawk. Born Jacob Katz in Brooklyn, New York, on September 27, 1927, he attended the School of Industrial Art in New York City and began working in the comics industry in 1943 at the age of 16, working on C.C. Beck and Pete Costanza's Bullet Man for Fawcett Comics. He then moved on to Jerry Iger's studio around 1945. In 46, he went to work at King Features Syndicate as an art assistant on Terry and the Pirates, Thimble Theater, and other strips. And there he met the two artists who were his biggest inspirations, Hal Foster and Alex Raymond. During this time, he continued to work on comics, including Quality Comics' Doll Man. In 1951, he decamped for Standard Comics, and in 52 he went to work in the studio of Jack Kirby and Joe Simon. At this point, Katz had already developed a detailed style, which slowed him down considerably, and Kirby and Simon ultimately let him go. Stan Lee hired him at Atlas Comics, later Marvel, where again his slow pace was a problem. In 55, Katz left the comics industry and turned to teaching. Continue to scroll, please. He returned to the drawing board 14 years later, working for Marvel Comics and DC Comics, as well as the black and white publisher Skywald on titles like Tender Love Stories, Jungle Adventures, and Psycho. In the early 70s, he moved to California and, inspired by the early underground comics movement, started working on his magnum opus, The First Kingdom. The First Kingdom was a sci-fi fantasy tale featuring detailed black and white art and an epic story that spanned 24 issues, 2 per year, that totaled 768 pages. See Jack Katz in The First Kingdom. The retailer publisher Comics and Comics published The First Kingdom from 74 to 77, and then co-founder Bud Plant picked it up and published it through the final issue, which was released in 86. It was a new sort of comic, mixing complex long-form storytelling with exquisitely detailed art. And like its near contemporaries, Wendy and Richard Pini's ElfQuest and Dave Sims' Cerebus ushered in a new way of making and reading comics. While it was initially published as 24 very large comics, The First Kingdom, generally referred to as a graphic novel, is generally referred to as a graphic novel because that is how it was conceived. Titan Comics published a new edition, including previously unpublished material, in 2013. Katz went on to create several other graphic novels, including Legacy, published by Graphic Novel Literature in 2009, as well as art instruction books. He took up oil painting in the mid-50s and returned to it in the late 1980s. And for much of his life, he taught art. He received the Inkpot Award in 1977 and was inducted into the Eisner Awards Hall of Fame in 2023. Very underrated artist, very overlooked. Yeah. And it's quite a monumental work. And it actually, in my mind, it heralded the start of the direct market because Bud Plant was distributing the books he was printing. Bud was a major distributor it still is, I think, over on the West Coast of incredibly well done sequential art books.
Yeah.
So he's along with the ElfQuest and Cerebus, really a precursor to the direct market.
Yeah, definitely the 97, nice long life. Attributed a lot. A little more upset about the guy in his 50s passing away. I mean, could you imagine what he could contribute if he had longer on this planet?
Right.
Guys, we do have more bad news. I don't know if it's
we went from a bucket of joy to just doom and gloom really fast.
Yeah, definitely do.
Doom and gloom coming soon.
More on Alliance Entertainment termination backup bid. Causes for termination. Who gets Diamond's comic business? In the wake of the surprising news that Alliance Entertainment had terminated its agreement to purchase Diamond Comics, we reviewed what might be their cause for termination and looked at what might happen to Diamond's comic business if the backup bidders end up acquiring the company. First, why did Alliance terminate? According to the asset purchase agreement for Alliance Entertainment to acquire the assets of Diamond Comic Distributors approved by the court on April 11th, there were very limited grounds for termination of the agreement by the purchaser. If both purchaser and seller agree, by purchaser if closing has not occurred on or before April 25th, or by a closing date extended by mutual agreement. The termination was filed on April 24th. By purchaser, if seller files to sell the assets to another purchaser and then consummates that sale. If Chapter 11 is converted to a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. If the order approving the sale to the purchaser is not reasonably acceptable to purchaser in any manner that is materially adverse to the purchaser.
Pardon
if the
my
seller
ignorance.
breaches the terms of the agreement. Those are the reasons.
What's the difference between Chapter 11 and Chapter 7?
Chapter 11 is restructuring. Chapter 7 is
dissolving.
Dunzo.
Collapse. Okay.
Collapse. Dunzo.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Dunzo.
Gotcha. Thank you.
The relationship between Alliance. Go ahead. You go ahead. Go for it.
The relationship between Alliance Entertainment and Diamond had been strained by Diamond's attempt to change the winner of the auction in Alliance's subsequent lawsuit, but it had appeared that the transaction was headed for a closing. Presumably, there will be a filing early this week that'll explain which of those criteria were employed by Alliance to terminate the agreement. We also took a look at what's known about the backup bid, which presumably will now come into play. The combined offer contemplates splitting the Diamond Comic Distributors' assets between two companies. Canadian distributor Universal Distribution would acquire Alliance Game Distributors for 49 mil and change, and acquire Diamond UK at a price based on the balance sheet of the company. NECA and WizKids' parent Ad Populum would acquire the other assets of the debtors sold at the auction for 19 mil and change, without specifying what those assets were, according to an amendment to the proposed Universal Distribution Asset Purchase Agreement filed earlier this month. The details of the Ad Populum purchase agreement are opaque at this point because the agreement was not included in the motion to sell the assets to the joint bidders. No reason was given for the absence of the agreement from the filing. The other assets for sale included the comic distribution business of Diamond Comic Distributors, Diamond Select Toys and Collectibles, and Collectible Grading Authority. It seems likely to us that Ad Populum would have wanted Diamond Select as a good fit with NECA, and the price indicates that the comic distribution arm was likely also included. Alliance Entertainment also introduced two elements of uncertainty regarding the Ad Populum bid in its lawsuit, alleging that Ad Populum may not have sufficient financing to close the deal, and that Ad Populum might assign its portion of the deal to another company. Moving to the backup bidder also raises the odds that an acquisition does not close. Unlike the Alliance Entertainment purchase agreement, the Universal Distribution purchase agreement included a material adverse change clause, which allows the purchaser to walk away if there was a material adverse change with respect to the business or the acquired assets taken as a whole.
Well, let's fast forward a little bit. And this one was on the 25th. Alliance Entertainment terminates Diamond's purchase agreement officially.
What?
Wait, did I skip those out? That was 25th. That was 28th. Yeah, I wanted to skip that one.
Oh,
Here we go.
Wait and skip
Here's
that
another
one. All right. Same.
Trustees move to convert Diamond.
All of these look the same, except the headline has been changed to protect the innocent. Yeah.
Right, yeah. All right, so also on the 28th, trustee moves to convert Diamond bankruptcy to Chapter 7 liquidation on the same day. On the same day.
Or dismissed.
So this one was at 2:38 a.m. on More on Alliance. This one was published at 2:30 p.m.
More on Alliance.
Just a mere 12 hours later.
Yep.
Trustee moves to convert Diamond bankruptcy to Chapter 7 liquidation or dismiss as Diamond announces new acquisition plan. The trustee in the Diamond Comic Distributors Chapter 11 bankruptcy case has filed a motion asking the judge to convert the case to a Chapter 7 liquidation or to dismiss the Chapter 11 case. The trigger for the filing was Diamond's failure to submit required monthly operating reports to the court for January, February, or March. Diamond can avoid consequences requested by the trustee's motion if they can show that converting is not in the best interest of the creditors, or can show that a plan will be confirmed within a specified time frame, or can show that their failure to file reports had a good reason and will be cured. It appears that the second option is the most likely, as Diamond released a statement today confirming that it would not be moving forward with Alliance Entertainment as the acquirer of its assets, and will be moving forward with unnamed second acquirers, presumably the backup bidders, Canadian Distributors, Universal Distributors, and NECA and WizKids parent Ad Populum. Diamond Comics Distributors has pivoted to alternative, exceptionally well-known purchasers who are excited to partner with us. You know what? That's a little jab. They're trying to do a little jab.
That's gonna fight Diamond.
Diamond Chief Restructuring Officer Robert Gorin said Robert Gorin, of course, name like Gorin, said in a statement accompanying the announcement, these companies have strong balance sheets and, importantly, unmatched presence and experience in our core industries. We are finalizing purchase agreements with these third parties and expect to announce the identities of these purchasers and seek court approval very shortly to complete the sales transactions. That was at 2:30 p.m. on the 28th.
You
Let's
have
fast
another
forward
article?
a little bit, guys.
Okay.
Let's move fast forward a little bit, guys. At 2:51 a.m. on the 29th. 2:51 a.m. A little over 12 hours later. Alliance Entertainment sues Diamond again, along with the investment bank, restructuring consultants, and Alliance Game Distributors executives. Alliance is ticked. In a blockbuster filing late Monday, Alliance Entertainment sued Diamond Comic Distributors and related companies for the second time. And this time, also sued investment bank Raymond James, restructuring consultant Getzler, Henrik and Associates LLC, along with Chief Restructuring Officer Robert Gorin personally, and Alliance Game Distributors co-CEOs Charlie Tyson and Dan Hirsch. See, he got a little like more well-known with better balance sheets. Lawsuit. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Freaking idiots. These guys do not. How they ever ran this company for as long as they did had to be old-fashioned shakedowns. I'm telling you, there's no way that these people ran a legit company for the last 50 years.
You're not saying they might have been connected, are you?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying.
Making
The
that
lawsuit alleges that the
perhaps?
defendants intentionally concealed the fact that the distribution contract between Alliance Games Distributors and Wizards of the Coast was ending until after the asset purchase agreement was signed. So a key agreement, a key contract was ending right after the signing of after the deal was done. They didn't tell anybody. They didn't tell the people, oh yeah, by the way, you're losing Wizards. That's a big deal. The impact would be roughly 25% of Alliance Games Distributors' sales, or $39.88 million out of $161.3 million, the lawsuit alleges. On April 17th, 8 days before the deal was to close, Diamond disclosed to Alliance Entertainment that the agreement with Wizards of the Coast would expire on April 30 and would not be renewed. Alliance Game Distributors executives and other Diamond representatives contended that the termination of the agreement was a surprise.
It's more paperwork that didn't get filed.
The jig was up, according to the complaint, on
Hate
April
those
21st.
jigs.
Yeah, those jigs, stupid jigs. When a video conference was held between Alliance Entertainment, Wizards of the Coast, and representatives of Diamond Comic Distributors, including Tyson, Hirsch, and Gorin in that conference. Wizards of the Coast President John Haidt and Vice President of Global Revenue and Wizards Play Network Brian Trunk explained that Wizards of the Coast had decided in December of 2024 to terminate the distribution agreement because sales to Alliance Games Distributors had declined by over 8% over the previous 4 years, during a time of increased sales overall. The complaint alleged extensions were granted through April 30 to assist in the bankruptcy case and to introduce the debtors to grant Wizards of the Coast critical vendor status. So,
catfishing.
So basically, let's basically break this down. Wizards already knew that they were leaving.
Yeah.
In December.
Yeah.
They said we're leaving, but we're going to go ahead and extend it through just to get you through bankruptcy, just to be kind.
Yeah.
Like our sales are up, but your distribution is down, which means people are buying, but not from you.
Yeah.
Right. So they already knew that. So this wasn't Wizards playing some weird game. This was Goran and his team keeping vital information out of circulation from potential buyers.
And if Wizards was making money off of Alliance Game Distributors in a timely manner, they would have never revoked the contract. So I would imagine they weren't getting paid, and they were a little pissed. So they says, "Hey, we're walking. We're just gonna have everybody else pick up your business." Sorry.
Absolutely.
And so Diamond then probably that was probably one of the instigations in them filing in the first place and wanting to get out. That they had to hide the fact that they were no longer were going to have Wizards product to sell once Alliance took them over.
Yeah. None of this is going to help comics. Not a bit of it helps. This is all bad news. This is doom and gloom. None of this is. We're not going to have time to read it today, but there is a.
Seriously though, this is inner workings of distributors. This isn't gonna. It's not gonna help comics any. But at the same time, it's really not gonna hurt any of the retailers already, because the majority of the retailers, the larger retailers who knew the market and had been observing what had been happening with Diamond, especially in regards to the way DC and Marvel went away from them, that they have also taken their distribution business away from Diamond and Alliance at the same time. That would explain the huge drop in sales for Wizards of the Coast. They're already going out and finding other outlets in order to get this product, because comics stopped being the main saving grace to these a lot of these comic shops a while ago, when the Marvel and DC product suffered in quality. And gaming and Funko Pops have really been keeping a lot of these retail stores alive, and they have to go where they can get the best deal. And obviously that wasn't with Alliance. So they dropped Alliance. Alliance sales dropped. Wizards saw that Alliance sales dropped. They saw how they were being treated by Alliance. They saw how Diamond was being treated by, they were losing their ass and sinking. And so Wizards says, "Hey, we're just not going to send you product.
We're just going to back out of this." Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll keep distributing to you until you can get sold.
Right. Yeah. Efforts were made to salvage the deal. According to the filing, Alliance Entertainment made a proposal to Wizards of the Coast with inducements to continue selling to them after the sale, but they declined. There were also some discussions between Alliance Entertainment and Diamond about a reduction in price due to the change in the value of the company, but those did not progress, and Alliance Entertainment terminated its asset purchase agreement last Thursday. Alliance Entertainment asserts in the filing that it remains ready, willing, and able to close the purchase of the debtor's assets at a reduced valuation to reflect the loss of revenue represented by the terminations of Wizards of the Coast distribution agreement. The complaint has 5 causes of action, including breach of contract against the Diamond Companies, fraud against the Diamond Companies, restructuring consultants and Tyson and Hirsch, aiding and abetting fraud against Raymond James, the restructuring consultant, and Tyson and Hirsch, negligent misrepresentation against the Diamond Companies, restructuring consultants, and Tyson and Hirsch, and breach of implied covenant of good faith and fair dealing against the Diamond Companies. The complaint requests a judgment according to the return of Alliance Entertainment's $8.5 million earnest money deposit that Raymond, James, Gersh, and Henricks and Goran disgorge all fees paid them since the petition date, and that damages and fees be awarded in the amount to be determined. Meanwhile, man, this is bad news. Meanwhile, even as the trustees moved to convert the bankruptcy from a Chapter 11 reorganization to a Chapter 7 liquidation today, Diamond announced that it was proceeding with a sale to another buyer, presumably via the backup bid by Universal Distribution and Ad Populum. Diamond had previously tried to switch the acquirer after the auction, which led to the first lawsuit by Alliance and a quick reversal, reinstating Alliance as the acquirer. Now, not only is the situation in bankruptcy court deteriorating with more obstacles to a closing, delays, a major dispute, and associated expenses and fees, it also appears that the condition of the business is decaying, with growing accounts payable in addition to the departure of key vendors. Today is May 1st, which means Diamond no longer is distributing Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah.
In its complaint, Alliance Entertainment said it had expressed concerns about the condition of the company in an April 23rd meeting. AENT also raised the fact that after the petition date, the debtors' accounts payables increased by approximately $16 million and inquired as to the debtors' plan for these increased accounts payables and how the debtors intended to pay them. The meeting was adjourned without an answer to the question. Move forward.
They know they
once
stepped in
again.
it. They knew they were committing fraud when they did it.
They knew they were what they were doing. Move ahead. April 30th. That was the 29th at something in the morning. This now, a little over a day later, 1:45 p.m., April 30th, yesterday. The bankruptcy court in charge of the Diamond Comic Distributors Incorporated Chapter 11 bankruptcy case has approved the backup bid for the companies, with Canadian distributor Universal Distribution acquiring the asset of Alliance Game Distributors and NECA and WizKids parent Ad Populum acquiring the assets of Diamond's comic distributors and book distributors, Diamond Select Toys and Collectibles Grading Authority, and other related assets. The companies announced Diamond UK is separate from this process. The sale comes after the collapse of the deal with Alliance to buy the companies amid litigation and allegations of fraud. The joint bid by Universal and Ad Populum was the backup bid in the auction held to sell the company's assets. Representatives of Diamond, Universal, and Ad Populum released statements in conjunction with the announcement. We are pleased that the court has approved Universal and Ad Populum's combined bid. Our priority during this process has been to minimize distribution to publishers, retailers, and employees, and comic and games fans everywhere. Diamond Chief Restructuring Officer Robert Gorin said, "We are confident that this will provide the best outcome for everyone involved." This expansion into the U.S. market. This expansion into the U.S. market through our acquisition of Alliance Games Distributors marks a pivotal moment for Universal Distribution. Universal Distribution President and CEO Angelo, I'm not even going to try it, said, "We're committed to building strong, transparent partnerships and ensuring that Alliance continues to serve as a reliable and resilient link in the supply chain."
Whoa!
Ever since I was young, I'll never forget walking through the front door of my neighborhood shop and spotting those iconic Diamond comic boxes, each one opening to reveal my dreams and ambitions. Ad Populum Managing Director Joel Weinschenker said, "We're incredibly excited to build on Diamond's remarkable legacy by bringing Ad Populum's best-in-class sales, marketing, and distribution to the next chapter."
Diamond has
Chapter
peed
11
all over. Peed all over their legacy. The transaction still has to close. The process has been messy. So the best that can be said of this announcement is that it came quickly after the collapse of the Alliance Entertainment deal.
Where's that soap opera organ music when you need it?
Yeah.
And you know, we don't have time to read Rob's words. But
Again?
just listen.
How
Just
come
listen
this?
to his title.
Yeah.
Living in exciting times.
You sure we can't read that?
Exciting time is
Man,
finding
can
a
we get through
matching
this?
song for Rob.
I can read
Can we
it.
get through this thing in 10 minutes? Okay.
Make it bigger. I can read it.
That's what she
Blow
said.
that up if you can. There we are. Yeah. That she's never said that to me. So throw the final fate of Diamond Comics distributors into the growing pile of things that folks in the comic industry don't know and don't control about the business environment. Alliance Entertainment sent us all off to the weekend with the news that they are not going to be taking over Diamond's business after all, for reasons that remain as murky as the rest of the situation. Thanks for playing. That bit of news leaves publishers and retailers wondering for a little longer about future distribution arrangements for a chunk of books on the market, as well as the disposition of monies owed by and to Diamond. And ICV2's follow-up post Monday morning, one of the grounds for termination of the purchase agreement is if Chapter 11 is converted to a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Chapter 7 means the company gets liquidated out of existence, which would not be good. No reason to believe that's in play, except that, well, there it is as a possible explanation for the weird thing that just happened, and it just showed up again in a new filing. The uncertainty surrounding what used to be a pillar of the industry is almost worse than bad news straight up. If Diamond comes out of the other side with a new owner and a new lease on life, that suggests one set of possibilities. If it goes under for good, that suggests another. But leaving unresolved an extensive time while everything gets relitigated just leaves everyone feeling helpless. Microcosm meet macrocosm. Meanwhile, in the rest of the world, the impact of on-again, off-again tariff announcements has turned the United States, and by extension, the rest of the world, to a command economy where financial outcomes hinge on the whims of a single reader rather than on business fundamentals. That's exciting, even if you share the Trump administration's vision for the country.
Oh, he's an economic commentator too. Nice.
Among other things, it makes it uniquely difficult to plan more than a few weeks ahead, because if you assume tariffs will be in place and they're not, you run the risk of being undercut by lower cost foreign suppliers. Whereas if you think that they won't last and they do, you might get stuck paying huge excess fees, assuming the foreign company even wants to bother doing business with the U.S. anymore. In many places, there is not an alternate source of supply regardless. More worryingly, can it be more worryingly?
I don't know, I guess.
I don't know.
I don't even think that's
Thus
proper.
saith Rob.
Yeah.
Surprise me, Rob.
The rest of the economy outside our little industry is facing the same issues on a grander scale. When big companies are caught in the headlights, they cut costs, stop hiring, and or cut the workforce, which puts more people out of work. Add that to the hundreds of thousands of people the federal government has already cut from stable, decent paid jobs around the country, and you're looking at a bigger economic slowdown. Oh, yeah. Well, sooner
he
or
just
later,
told us where he stood on things, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. Sooner or later, people whose businesses are failing or who can't find work start falling behind on credit card, rent, or mortgage payments, like they haven't already done that in the last 2 years. Anyway, that ends up leaving a mark, a skid mark. Remember December?
Skid mark, yeah.
Remember 2008? Yeah, good times. Back then, the G.W. Bush administration, which wasn't exactly a model of competence, still managed to project sense or urgency and consistency in dealing with the crisis, working in lockstep with the Fed and both parties in Congress to come up with a response that prevented a total meltdown. A well-timed election put new folks in power just when the world was ready to see a different face of American leadership. And even with all that, we got stuck with a downturn that lasted for years. On the other hand, the ironic thing is that if not for these external and hard to plan events, things were going pretty well. Consider that the comic market expanded last year and appeared to be posted for additional growth. That's because everybody else was poor and they were going for cheaper entertainment. That doesn't matter. Yep. We have a number of pretty good. We
have a summer.
Okay, I have to recompose myself. We have a number of pretty good superhero movies ahead with us, with Thunderbolts getting good early buzz, and the trailers for both Superman and the Fantastic Four looking like they could be a lot of fun. Add in the promising debut of Andor Season 2, and we have the rare harmonic convergence of Marvel, DC, and Star Wars, all delivering well-regarded media at the same time.
All right, I got to stop you there. Okay. Number one, I've not heard anyone say good things about the Superman.
Yeah.
Like at first they're like, this is like, it seems like a downgrade from the other Superman that we had. The Fantastic Four, the Silver Surfer situation, I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know. They never get the Fantastic Four right.
I was just going to say,
I'm not looking forward to. I will wait for it comes out on streaming. But I will tell you, I know someone's that is watching Andor Season 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they are ticked off about this series. They said it is not good. It is terrible.
I have to say I'm proud I read that last paragraph with a straight face.
Yeah. The guy writing this is
I didn't like the first Andor.
It's getting deep, Rob.
Yeah.
It's getting deep. That's a nice polite way of saying
that is written
Holy
by
crap,
Rob.
Who wrote that? So I can respond.
Over at ICV2, that's Rob over there.
Rob
ICV2, Pops. Yeah. This guy's a laugh anyway. That's why we read his columns as often as possible.
They are always a laugh.
And by the way, I have heard positive things about Superman and negative things about Superman, and the same about the Fantastic Four, and the same about Thunderbolts. The problem is both of these companies have shat on the fans so hard in the past. They could do Deadpool, Wolverine quality movies for the next couple of years, and they're still not going to make money.
Not going to make money.
Because people have stopped caring. Anyway, on the comic racks, we have the DC Marvel crossovers to look forward to. Plus, Godzilla versus Marvel. I saw Godzilla versus Bambi. It should go the same way. Anyway, there's follow-up to the surprise 2023 hit Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees coming soon. Oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. All those copies of Planet Death will be hitting the streets later this week. Oni's EC revival is picking up steam. We're on a good moment for publishing, too. Oh, my God. Anyway, let me check my shoes. Okay, didn't step in.
Yeah.
In short, this would be a season of good news for the business, but it's hard to sell to customers who are broke, especially if the products you sell end up costing more due to tariffs.
Look, we were broke before the tariffs.
So nobody wants to
change that.
Nobody wants to know it, especially in regards to Canada, or not Canada, but China. That printed matter is not covered under these tariffs, but that doesn't matter. Everybody wants to do the fear mongering.
Well, these idiots, okay? I mean, I just got to be honest. These idiots.
Putting it nicely too.
It's look, we were broke already.
Yeah.
Broke already. We were so broke that it requires drastic measures in order to fix it. It's been 100 days. Okay?
It feels like more though.
Feels like more, but it's only been 100 days. Look,
you
got to wait this out a little bit.
January 21st, they were screaming, well, how come the price of eggs haven't come down? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, come on, he just got inaugurated. Like, you just got to give it some time and see if it works. There's no time in history when another president did this and it worked gangbusters. Just wait it out, see what happens.
Look, we never had perfect foresight about developments in business of the world. We always have to plan for the unexpected. Predictability is boring. On the other hand, a little bit of boring would be awfully nice right now. The opinions expressed in this column are solely those of the writer and do not necessarily reflect the views of the editorial staff of ICV2.com. Rob Selkovich, whatever, blah, 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 is the author of Comic Con and the Business of Pop Culture.
Of course he gives his blue star. I mean, this dude is such a
two-time Eisner Award nominee. Anyway, go ahead.
Nominee. Didn't win.
Nominee.
And never will win because they got rid of his category.
Bad nominee.
All right, two comments here. Two comments here that I think are perfect to end on.
Yeah.
First one by Russ. Okay, so it was COVID, and it was Ukraine, and now it's tariffs. Nothing to do with the fact that corporate comics are
shite.
Absolutely.
Shite.
The other one right here. You know what? American printing eliminates tariffs, overseas shipping, inferior product. It will fix itself. Well,
Pops is right.
Yeah.
And Hojo believes that the Marvel and DC crossover will be who will be the gayest? Who could be the gayest?
Oh, yeah.
And torch the character's legacy faster.
You're going to have to keep all the gay characters off of all the other gay characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I blame Russ Leach. He's proven that as artist can be too good for something.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so. Man. Yeah, okay. That was fun.
Yeah. Poor Rob. I hope he gets his head out of his ass soon. It's got to be a little dark.
I don't think.
If he gets his head out of his ass, we might end up with not having a show anymore. So
he is our show. I mean,
he is fun to read. He is fun to read.
We need Rob.
We need Rob, man.
One of the main reasons I have half the people on my Facebook page is they are fun to read. Very entertaining.
They are fun to read.
They're fun to read.
I'm gonna find I've got a.
It's like it's all of this fear mongering, and then there's the real world. But anyway.
Yeah. Just like the Chinese presence in Panama.
There you go. There is no Chinese presence in Panama.
No. There is no Chinese presence in Panama.
There is no Chinese presence in Panama. It's just,
there is no Chinese presence.
They're so fucking funny. But yeah, it's a matter of perception. Yeah.
There is no Chinese presence.
Yeah, they've been here since 1850, actually. But there are more Panamanians than Chinese. Like, you talk to them and they sound like Panamanians. Now, there's people from the CCP, but just couple of car companies. That's about it.
I saw one. I know we probably shouldn't go off topic because Luke has to leave here in a minute. But I saw a great video the other day that says that China and their in regards to their population is about the same as Diamond and their association with and their reported association with Wizards of the Coast, that they've been over-reporting their numbers for years.
Yeah.
And that there are entire sections of Shanghai that are just completely dead and empty.
And I mean, complete regions of the country that are empty.
And it has spawned a new class of people in China called rat people who do nothing but go to work and go home and crash. And then get up and go to work again. Just like rats running through a maze. It's really fascinating to see.
Yeah, dude. And for the conspiracy theory connoisseur, that has been a known fact for years, that they're inflating the numbers. Because
they went through and changed their one child policy to three children, like 2015. Never bothered to tell any of the outside world.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, I take examples for a very smaller country that it's a market within itself. Brazil has no need for the rest of South America because they're a self-contained market. Whatever they produce, they consume. and they're only like 180 million.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you have a country,
and growing,
exactly. If you have a country of 1.4 billion people who are working, supposedly, they should be a contained market. Like they shouldn't care if they export or not.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I'm an idiot. I live in the jungle, you know. Hey, oi.
Where you can have four wives and 4 families and not worry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That guy lived in the jungle too. Who's clever now?
Well, guys, it is 10:31.
Talk about juggling balls in more ways than one. There you go.
Anyway, we're living with that one.
It has been fun. It has been real. It has been real fun.
Yeah.
Man, this diamond thing.
Oh no!
Yep.
Exactly right.
Exactly right.
Oh,
that was Diamond when they saw that Alliance lawsuit.
That's Goran right now. Oh no!
Yeah.
Guys, thanks for being here today. You've been amazing. It's always fun. I want to thank the chat today for being here with us. It's always fun. It's always fun. So it's a good time. We'll be here next week. Same bacon time, same bacon place. So make sure you set your calendars. Come and hang out with us a little bit. I'm sure we'll have some more news, and old Rob Salk will be saying some more stupid things that we can echo and have a good laugh about. So guys, remember, it's way easier to tear down than it is to build up. You've got to start creating your own alternatives out there. Start marketing. Please, a better job than the first commercial that we showed today at your marketing.
Or you know what? Do that rap. Do that rap
Do that rap. Do what you got to do to reach the urban youth, I guess.
I just want to say Atlantean 2 is at the printers and will be fulfilled shortly. Atlantean 3 is deep in production.
That's exciting times.
And coming out well. Atlantean 1 is available at all of your book outlets, including also a fantastic hardcover version of Shadow Kingdom is also available out there as well. CriticalBlast.com, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and those places. Go check it out. If you want some entertainment, you don't have to worry about tariffs.
Tariffs. Blame it on the tariffs. Everything's
or other fear-mongering BS. Yeah.
You know what?
And we've still
my back hurts today. It's because of the tariffs.
We still don't have our Wizards of the Coast contract through yet.
No Wizards of the Coast contract, guys. It's
because of tariffs.
But anyway, it's because of tariffs. Blame it on the tariffs, guys. So go out there, leave that woodpile how you found it, and
be nice to all 4 of your families. We'll see you soon.
Yeah,
all 4 of your families. Be careful out there.
Let's be careful out there. Let's be careful out there. We had a 187 at the 7-Eleven on the corner of 4th and Main. 2 Caucasians of the male persuasion put a bullet through the cashier's brain. Moving on, I see it too.